Hello everybody, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Yesterday in Baseball. My name is Luke, and today we've got a lot to catch up on. Huge day for baseball yesterday, just a ton of chaos. We got a couple teams that clinched, a lot of shaking up per usual this time of year, and some really good individual performances. Detroit at Cleveland, that's something we really got to recap. Cubs, Mets, that was great. And then I got a Luke Chop stat for you guys. I know they're getting a little more frequent, but it sounds like you guys like them, and I like doing them too. So without further ado, we'll travel out to Baltimore to take on the Rays Orioles and hop into our recaps. The Orioles beat Tampa Bay 6-0 on Tuesday. Dean Kremer shut down the Rays as he went 6.1 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts. Colton Cowser hit a big homer. Gunnar came through with some RBI, all en route to a dominant 6-0 win for Baltimore. Next up, we've got the must-watch game from yesterday. Detroit at Cleveland. The battle for the AL Central is on, and it didn't disappoint as Cleveland won 5-2. On September 4th, Cleveland was 11 games out of first in the division. Now they've gone on a run, overtaking the Detroit Tigers. And for reference, Cleveland has won the season series against the Tigers, so if it comes down to a legitimate tie, Cleveland is going to get the edge on the tiebreaker. As we dig into the action, though, it was truly a wild one. Skubal and Gavin Williams both looked great, and Detroit couldn't have been happier to carry a 2-run lead into the bottom of the 6th. Guardians played some small ball, though. They forced Skubal into making an error. He football hiked the ball to first, which I thought was pretty fun, but didn't work out well. It was then followed by an RBI single. Skubal hit David Fry, who had to leave on a cart, and Skubal looked pretty shaken up as he gave up 2 more runs. Cleveland tied Detroit in the standings as they got the win 5-2. And they have the tiebreaker, so they're on top of the Central right now. Exciting stuff in Cleveland, another fun one tonight. Next up, the Reds dropped an important one, 4-2 to the Pirates. The Pirates put up 4 in the second thanks to some hits in an O'Neill Cruz homer. Ellie hit his 21st in the bottom of the second to make it 4-2, but that was all in this one. The Reds lose 4-2 and fall back out of that last wild card spot to the Mets. Miami stays hot as they've won their 7th straight with a 6-5 extra inning victory over Philadelphia. Philly was up all game until Gilberto Hernandez hit a game-tying homer in the top of the 9th to send it to extras. Both teams put up 2 in the 10th, and then Xavier Edwards' sac fly in the 11th put the Marlins on top for good as they got the win 6-5 and took their 7th in a row. The AL picture is starting to shape up as the Yankees clinched a postseason berth with a 3-2 walk-off victory over the White Sox. The Yankees were down to their last strike in the bottom of the 9th, but a wild pitch and a Jose Caballero blooper put the Yankees on top 3-2, allowing them to clinch a postseason spot for the 8th time in the last 9 years. Boston beat Toronto 4-1 Tuesday as they inched closer to a wild card spot. Nathaniel Lowe had a pair of RBI singles, and Carlos Narvaez had an RBI double to help power the Red Sox to the win. Boston could easily find themselves in the jumble for that last wildcard spot with a loss, so it was an important 4-1 win on Tuesday for them. The Braves won their 10th in a row with a 3-2 victory over the Nationals Tuesday. It's too little too late for their postseason hopes, unfortunately, but that's not stopping them from balling out. Hurston Waldrep was excellent again, going 6 and only giving up 1. Then all the Braves runs were courtesy of the solo homer. Michael Harris II had a pair, and Ronald Acuna Jr. had one for his 20th of the year. Atlanta got the win 3-2. On the north side of Chicago, the Mets win an important late thriller over the Cubs 9-7. The Mets got on the board early, but the Cubs went up 6-1. A big 5-run 5th helped them make a comeback, and a massive Francisco Alvarez go-ahead 2-run homer in the 8th inning was the difference in this contest. Edwin Diaz finished off with a stellar 6-out save to put the Mets back in the last wildcard spot for the time being as they won 9-7 over Chicago. The Twins took down the Rangers 4-1 as the Rangers lost their 8th in a row. Zibby Matthews of the Twins went 7, only giving up 1. The top of the order for Minnesota got it done. The 1 through 3 batters all knocked in a run. Minnesota got the win 4-1, officially eliminating the Rangers from playoff contention. The Royals beat the Angels 8-4, but still got eliminated from playoff contention. Cole Ragans made his second start back, and despite giving up 2, he looked dominant, striking out 10, as the first 7 strikeouts he had were the first 7 outs he made. Bryce Teodosio on the Angels got his first career homer. The Royals' offense was solid throughout the evening as they put up 8, beating Anaheim 8-4. The Dodgers and Arizona Diamondbacks was a great game. The D-backs needed a victory badly as they rallied in the 9th to walk off LA 5-4. Shohei Ohtani went 6 scoreless, striking out 8 on 91 pitches. All of Arizona's scoring had to come against the bullpen as they put up 3 in the 7th. In the bottom of the 9th, down 1, they were able to level things on a Jorge Barrosa sac fly. Then an RBI machine, Herdalmo Perdomo, knocked in a game-winning run on a liner to left, helping them keep pace and get the victory 5-4. Seattle finally reaped the rewards of their hot streak as they won 4-3 over Colorado, clinching a postseason berth. Entering the bottom of the 8th, the Mariners were down 2, but if you leave the bases loaded for Josh Naylor, you messed up. He crushed an electrifying 3-run double to put the Mariners on top with only 3 more outs to make to clinch a postseason berth, and they did just that. Mariners stay hot and clinch thanks to a late winner 4-3 against Colorado, and hats off to Naylor. The Padres put up 7 on the Brewers, beating them 7-0. Randy Vasquez threw a gem, going 7 scoreless innings, only giving up 1 hit. Ryan O'Hearn had a massive grand slam, and Arise hit his 8th homer of the year as they look to complete the sweep today after their 7-0 win last night. The Cardinals had their game of the year as they had a big come-from-behind victory 9-8 over the Giants. They were down 5 in the 7th, but a big 4-run 7th inning and a 2-run inning in the 9th helped them get the win. Brendan Donovan tied an MLB record as he went 4-for-5 with 4 doubles. Ivan Herrera had a big 3-run homer, and Nolan Arenado hit one as well. The Cardinals win 9-8 and eliminated San Francisco from postseason contention as they've had a really rough past week. The last game of the night was Astros at Athletics. The Astros dropped an important one 5-1. Jeffrey Springs of the A's shut down Houston with 5 solid innings, only giving up 1. Jacob Wilson went 2-for-2 with a double RBI and reached base 4 times in their winner 5-1. With that loss, Houston is now on the outside looking in as they are 1 game back. That's all we have for you guys for Tuesday's recaps, so now let's head into Luke's Shop Stat. It's an old adage in football that defense wins championships. Well, in baseball, it's looking like starting pitching wins divisions. From being 15.5 games back to now in first with a tiebreaker, the Guardians have been one of the best teams in baseball over the last 3 weeks. The offense has been getting the job done over the last couple weeks, but truly, the key to their success has been their starting pitchers. Today's stat is that the Guardians' starting pitching has had 18 consecutive starts where they've given up 2 runs or fewer. That's equated to an ERA of 1.25 across that stretch. And if you're curious about the Guardians' record over that span, it's 16-2, and that's when they've made up their crucial ground on Detroit. The story was no different last night, as Gavin Williams had a great start, only giving up 2 and striking out 12. So hopefully for their sake, they continue to get more of those performances and continue to make a charge. A short but sweet chop stat for you guys today, and that's incredible. 18 consecutive starts, 2 or fewer, that's almost unheard of. But now let's go ahead and see who is our player of the day for Tuesday. It was hard to pick a player of the day for Tuesday. You had an interesting mix of teams that clinched and teams that have just kept pace. Equally important in this context. Truly the most impactful performance we saw was the guy who came up with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th. Clinch on the line. Josh Naylor went 2-for-4 with a 3 RBI double, helping push the red-hot Mariners into the postseason. Earlier this week, he got his 2020 for the first time in his career, and he's just been really on a tear, very valuable to that Seattle ball club. And it was the same story last night with the 56.2 win probability added on that double. He really was the key to victory in helping lock up their postseason berth. So, yeah, big stuff from him. I'm excited to see Seattle in the playoffs. I was really Going to be bummed if they didn't make it because they have so many interesting players and storylines this year. So congrats to Naylor. Absolutely amazing performance last night. Now let's take a look at some of the exciting matchups to look forward to tonight. Once again, I'm going to be highlighting Detroit at Cleveland. This whole series is going to be must watch. We got Jack Flaherty versus Bybee on the mound, 6:40 Eastern time. And also starting then, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Cincinnati needs to win, but it's Skeens versus Hunter Green. So going to be kind of a battle of the Titans there. And then lastly, we got the Mets at Cubs. Once again, Tong versus Boyd on the bump at 8:05 Eastern time on ESPN. That's going to be a fun one. So, yeah, lots of fun stuff to track. A good mix of just those teams that are trying to keep pace like the Reds, and then those teams that are trying to not fall out of it like Detroit. That's all we have from Wednesday for you guys. Thank you for following along. Tuesday was truly a crazy day for baseball. I had a lot of fun just flipping around, following the action. But the good news is most of that action is not going away. All that is the big storylines, the big matchups, they're all going to continue pretty much the rest of the week here. So we'll have a lot of fun to follow with that. But enjoy this final week of seeing 30 teams play every day. The next time we'll see that will be March. So enjoy it, savor it, and just watch some baseball. And we'll be back tomorrow with the injury episode. Thank you again, and take care.